Hello everyone, Vincent here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Helminth Chrysalis system and how to acquire it, as well as ranking up with the Entrati. But before we begin, just a quick reminder that the Helminth Chrysalis system is intended for Mastery rank 8 and above. Alright, so assuming that you've already done the quest for Deimos and are now doing bounties for the Entrati, here's how to acquire the Helminth Chrysalis. First, you need to be at least rank 3 with the Entrati, and you need 3 spinal cord sections in order to get to rank 1. And to get this, you need to do some fishing. Spinal cord sections can be acquired rarely from regular fishes from the Cambion Drift, but rare specific fishes that require a specific bait guarantees you at least one when you cut them. These fishes are the Vitriospina and Chondrichord, found in caves in Cambion Drift. Using a fast residue will increase the chance of them spawning. I have yet to see a Chondrichord, but I was able to fish a Vitriospina in a cave near the Catabolic Gutter, so I suggest you start there. You can also get spinal cord sections from Isolation Vault bounties if you don't feel like fishing. For rank 2, you will need 1 Keratinus Blades Blueprint, 1 Keratinus Gauntlet Blueprint, 1 Father Token, and 1 Daughter Token. That sounds a bit overwhelming, but it's relatively simple, although it requires a bit of a standing and effort. You can choose one of the blueprints from your promotion to rank 1, then buy the other blueprint from Father for 500 standing. The fastest way to get Father tokens is to exchange materials found in Cambion Drift with Father himself, kind of similar to Fortuna's sticker with his death bonds. For Daughter tokens, you need to exchange fish materials with Daughter, which you should be able to do so immediately since you fish for a spinal cord section. And now, to achieve rank 3, you will need to do some conservation, meaning you need to capture 2 specific animals found in Cambion Drift. They are the common Avichea and the Medjay Predacite. You also need 1 Mother token and 1 Son token to rank up. Catching the animals rely purely on RNG since their scat spawns randomly around Cambion Drift. The Medjay Predacite can sometimes spawn on the overworld without tracking it, so be sure to keep an eye out for them. By the time you're going to rank up to rank 3 with the Entrati, I can assure you that you have at least 1 Medjay Predacite tag with you because of how random they spawn and get mauled by the infested. The Avichea can also be found flying around Cambion Drift. So if you don't want to do the traditional conservation minigame, you can circle around Cambion Drift on your Archwing with the trunk rifle equipped and utilize the scanner of the trunk rifle to find some Avichea. Once you're rank 3, you can now purchase the Helminth segment from Sun. However, this costs 15,000 standing, so you still need to offer some tokens to Grandmother after reaching this rank. The segment itself also needs to be crafted and requires 5 purple Velocipod tags, 20 Adramal alloy, 5 saturated muscle mass, and 15 ganglion. We'll go through each material from easiest to the most annoying to get. First is ganglion, which you probably have tons of it by now, since it's a common drop in Cambion Drift and its deposits can be found throughout the open world node. Destroying containers also sometimes yield them, so this shouldn't be a problem. Saturated muscle mass is acquired from cutting fishes with Daughter, and since you've already fished for spinal cord section, you don't need to worry about this as well. Adramal alloy is a material that needs to be crafted. You can buy the blueprint from OTAC for 1000 standing points at the rank of neutral. In order to craft this, you need 20 Adramalium, which is an uncommon mineral found in Cambion Drift. You can mine this from yellow mineral veins and can also be acquired from the bonus vaults found in Isolation Vault bounties. You will also need 20 Traverite, which is a mineral found in Orb Valleys. If you already did some mining in Orb Valleys, you should have tons of it. But for those of you who haven't yet, you can acquire Traverite by mining red mineral veins throughout Orb Valleys. They also randomly drop from containers. You will also need 600 Castids, which is an uncommon material found throughout the solar system, which we all are familiar with. And 15 Lucent Terraglobe. Lucent Terraglobes can be found throughout Cambion Drift, They are an uncommon loot from containers, but their deposits spawn on Orokin-tiled places on Cambion Drift. The deposits also spawn inside bonus vaults and isolation vault bounties. You probably already have a few dozens of this once you reach rank 3. And lastly, you will need 5 purple Velocipod tags. Velocipods are those huge dragonflies that you can find on Cambion Drift that acts as a K-Drive. They have 3 variants, white, green, and purple. Of course, we need to focus on the purple ones. You only need to bring out your trunk rifle and shoot them once to capture them to get a tag. The problem is that their spawn rate is kind of icky to say the least. But from reading various forum posts and threads and by experimenting on my own, the easiest way to get purple Velocipod is to go to this place on the footage of where I am now, and the one I'm putting a waypoint on. These 2 places are where I got my purple Velocipods from, but as with all things in Warframe, it requires a bit of luck. Once you have all the materials, you can now craft the Helminth segment, which will take 24 hours to finish. When it finishes building and you finally get it from your foundry, an objective marker will lead you to the Helminth room in your orbiter, which was only accessible before by Warframes with a cyst on its neck or by Nidus. A mini cutscene will play and a whole speech will begin, so sit back and enjoy more lore that kind of explains one game mechanic. Afterwards, you will now be presented with the Helminth Chrysalis screen. The Helminth needs to be fed with various materials that you gathered throughout playing the game in order to rank it up. It is also your way of getting the required Helminth materials needed to put abilities in your Warframe. Each Helminth material have their own required materials needed for you to get them, and when you are on the feed screen, you can choose to show all materials needed by the Helminth materials or choose categories to show only materials needed by one Helminth material. I hope I phrased that good, it's hard for me to explain it. Once you put an ability in your Warframe, you will be able to return it back to normal. You will also be given a choice on which config slot you want the ability to be put on. The Helminth is also picky when it comes to eating materials. As you might have noticed, there are green arrows in each of the materials on the screen right now. This green arrow indicates that feeding the material with this arrow to the Helminth will give you bonus progress in getting the Helminth material. Making the Helminth eat the same material too many times will make it dislike it and will be indicated by a red arrow. Be sure to balance its meal to yield the most progress. Of course, the other infested abilities, the default ability that the Helminth can give you without feeding it any Warframe, are locked behind ranks. And that should be it for the Helminth Chrysalis system. Once I feed my Helminth enough Warframes, I will start to experiment with the abilities, so expect some videos regarding Warframe and ability combinations. If you want to see that in the future, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.